All right, as I sit here on my bike doing my cardio, because my son is not awake yet and is allowing me, I want to make this video super quick because obviously summer's coming up and a lot of people are curious as to how they can get in shape for summer, how can they get their best body so they feel good when they take the shirt off. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna sit here and act like a million people asked me. A couple people did, and so I'm just gonna give it to you real quick and straight and take it for what it's worth. Number one, if you think that you're doing a good job eating, eating healthy, eating clean, blah, 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 you're not losing weight, you're lying to yourself. You're eating too much food. There's really no situation that you can think of in a first world country where you're eating too much food. You're not eating, you're eating less food than you should and you're gaining weight. It's not real, you're lying to yourself. So, and the reason that I know this is because I do it too. I'll get on a little kick and I'll be like, damn man, I'm just not seeing any results. It's because of all the other stuff that I'm doing that I'm just like casually putting to the back of my mind like, oh yeah, that really wasn't that much. It is that much. So listen, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I do right now because I feel really locked in and dialed in. So you can go on the internet, you can find all types of diets and stuff like that. Listen, you just gotta pick one and stick to it. I used to track everything in a tracking app and stuff like that. But I was finding that the app was, having to log stuff was making me go over my calories. I can't explain why. It's like knowing that I had food left over. Even if I wasn't hungry, I would just go eat, and then ultimately I just end up overeating. So anyway, I'm gonna tell you what I do, because currently I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life, and this is how I diet. So basically, I'm gonna do a big fast. I always train in the morning, usually anywhere between 6 and 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm working out fasted. I'm not eating anything after. My first meal, real meal, won't be until about anywhere between 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So in that time, in that whole window between that first big meal, I might have a cheese stick, I'll eat pickles, I'll eat carrots, I'll have a diet soda, I'll drink a bunch of water, maybe I'll have a coffee. I'm just trying to push that first big meal later. I'm not telling you to eat nothing. Eat an apple, eat a piece of fruit, blah, blah, blah. But the first big bulky meal that you eat, that's the one that I say for midday or a little bit later. So what is that meal? I work really well on low carbs. I know other people don't. They pretend like they have no energy if they don't eat any carbs. I don't really eat that many carbs, especially when I'm locked in, and I'm plenty strong. Okay, so everybody bitching about them losing strength and blah, blah, blah. Never had that happen to me. I really never had that happen to me. I think that's just something that somebody heard, and then, people say that when they're dieting, and so the fallacy becomes true because they're saying it. So the first meal of the day, I will have basically one package of lean ground beef, lean ground turkey, lean ground chicken. That's 1 pound. So quick math for you. 4 ounces of a lean meat is 25 grams of protein always, pretty much. So 1 pound, 16 ounces, that's 100 grams of protein, boom, done right there. 100 grams of protein, you probably got pretty close to your protein requirement for the day, and most of you probably are not eating enough protein anyway. So I will have 1 pound of chicken, of lean beef, of lean turkey, of lean ground, whatever, 1 pound of it. And if I'm sick of that, I'll have the equivalent of 75 to 100 grams of liquid egg whites combined with eggs, something like that. And then I'll have, some vegetables if I want, or a salad. I use Bolthouse Ranch, that's my favorite dressing, it's low calorie. And again, guys, I'm not logging this in an app. I just know off the top of my head. If I'm having a pound of chicken, that's close to 500 calories. If I'm having a pound of lean ground beef, we're talking about like maybe close to 700, big deal. Okay, so I eat that meal, and then again, I try to have another, basically another little block of time where I'm not eating until I have dinner with my family. So 1, 2 o'clock, I have a pound of meat, I have a bunch of vegetables. If I'm really hungry in the in-between time, I'll have another coffee, I'll have another cheese stick, big whoop, 50 calories. That's not the thing that's gonna derail you and keep you from your dream body. The thing that's keeping you from your dream body as 10 p.m. comes around and you're sitting there and then you eat half a bag of whatever that you shouldn't, junk food. So then when dinner rolls around, whatever, my family is having, I have some of that, but same thing, I'm gonna have like basically another pound of meat. That's 200 grams of protein. In my experience, higher protein, it makes you leaner. I've tried other methods. I've tried low protein, I've tried higher carbs, I've tried higher fats. Honestly, for me to get my body where I want it to be, it's gonna be high protein, low carbs, and then the fats just are what they are. I'm probably averaging, I don't know, it's gotta be like 70 to 100 grams of fat a day. Okay, so 200 protein, 70 to 100 grams of carbs a day, or 70 to 100 grams of fat a day. And then at nighttime, I'm doing this every night. Again, this is low carb. So obviously, what are you gonna do? Like count the carbs in your broccoli and lettuce? Like forget all that. You know, just make good decisions. And then at nighttime, normally, because I have a sweet tooth, big sweet tooth. I mean, I can eat people under the table. I don't do it because it's, 15 years worth of me trial and error and losing weight, and nobody knows what it was like when I was obese, because I was. They only know me now. But I have a crazy sweet tooth, and I need to feed that sometimes. And generally speaking, at night, I'll have, about 2 cups of frozen berries, whether it's frozen blueberries I really like, or mixed berries or strawberries or something. I'll put a little bit of Fairlife milk on that, kind of like swish it around. It kind of turns it into like ice cream a little bit. I eat that every single night, and I'm fine, I'm good. And that might be, a cup of blueberries is 70 calories. So all in all, if I have 2, 3, 4 cups of blueberries, at the maximum, it's gonna be 200 or 300 calories. Versus like 1 pint of Ben & Jerry's, when I could eat with my eyes closed in 2 seconds, that's 1,200 calories right down the pike. So guys, look, make good decisions. If you hold up 2 foods, one's junk food and one's naturally unprocessed whole food, we all know on face value which one's healthier. So you gotta just choose that one and stop pretending that like you're doing everything that you can to lose weight, because you're not. You're not. It's simple. And again, I hate to harp on this, but the only reason that I know that that's what's happening is because when I'm not locked in, when I'm not seeing the results, it's because I'm making excuses for the crappy choices that I'm making. And it all just comes down to choices. So really quick, one more time, I'm gonna run it down. What I do. Now, you can go online, you can try to find science. I don't care about any of that crap. I care about what works, and I take anecdotes way over science any day of the week. So this is exactly what I've been doing for about the last month. And this is where I've seen some really, really crazy progress in my physique, my hunger. I'm not worried about food like I was, because that's so annoying. So here it is. Here's my diet. Wake up between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. I have a workout. If I have time, I'll hop on my bike and do some cardio. Ideally, I'd like to do 30 to 40 minutes. If I can fit it in, I'll have a coffee in the morning. My son eats normal times. He has a breakfast, he has a snack, he has a lunch, whatever. I don't have to eat when my son is eating, and neither do you. You don't have to eat because other people are eating. So I'll have a coffee. If I'm super hungry, I'll have a cheese stick. I'll have a diet soda, 0 calories. I'll drink a ton of water, again, 0 calories. We get to my first meal of the day. It's gonna be 1 pound of lean meat, chicken, beef, steak, ground turkey, whatever. I'll have some vegetables, maybe a light salad. Again, now we're moving on to later in the day. Again, in that block of time where I'm not eating, if I'm really hungry, I'll have some pickles, some carrots. I'll have another cheese stick. These are things that are really low in calories, that's not gonna put weight on you. And again, I'll have a big dinner. We're talking about for dinner time. And you're talking about for the 2 meals, the 2 big meals, anywhere from 600 to 900 calories. You should be full off of that. And then, once I have that family dinner, which again is probably gonna be around a pound of meat, and if my wife is having a little bit of carbs or whatever, I might have a small portion of that. And then nighttime, 2 to 3 cups of berries with a little bit of Fairlife milk. That's the diet. That's the diet. That's what I do. I guarantee you, if you do exactly that, you'll start to drop some weight. I'm not telling you it's the best thing in the world. I'm not telling you that it's the healthiest thing in the world. I'm not telling you anything. I'm telling you that's the diet that's been working for me, because I don't want to worry about tracking food. I watch Mark Bell all the time. A lot of my ideas are directly from him, okay? You're gonna see a lot of stuff online, and everybody's trying to sell you something. Everybody thinks that their method is best. I'm not telling you that my method is best. I'm telling you, this is what's working for me. If you're curious, try it out. But if you really try it out, really commit to it. Don't half-ass it, and then if it doesn't work, then be like, oh, that doesn't work. Actually try something. You know, any of these diets that you're gonna find online, all of them will work if you just commit to it. The hard part is finding the thing that you commit to that's gonna be easy for you to stick to. That's it. So take that for what it will. This video was extra long, 10 minutes, but there it is. Bye.